Hi folks, it's Nick here and a very warm welcome to you. We're on the ZX Spectrum and we're looking at a game called World Cup Carnival, published by US Gold in 1986 and based on the events from the Mexican World Cup of football again in the same year. Game also came out on the Amstrad CPC and the Commodore 64. Now I'm a little bit worried about this game already because apparently US Gold commissioned someone to write the game prior to the Mexico 86 World Cup, but the game wasn't considered to be that good. They then got into a little bit of trouble because they didn't want to release it. We'll put this on Kempston Joystick, and so they ended up re-releasing a game from Arctic Computers from 1984 called World Cup Football. So that's not a very good start, is it? But anyway, we'll do on one player. We've got all these countries to pick from. I'll pick England just for a change. And we'll see how the game plays and how well we do. This presentation looks a little bit iffy in the standard Spectrum font. And England play Iraq in the first round. Here we go. So they're coming out a bit like Match Day, but graphics not quite as good and no music either. And the players are already colour clashing with the white line. There's no reason for that to be happening. This isn't looking good so far. But anyway, the crowd look good. They're they're trying to cheer, but they're all quite right. Okay. So, Iraq come down the field. Our defence is non-existent. White players are me. When they turn cyan, that blue colour, which means we're in control of them. Yeah, I mean, that colour clash, why have they done that on the... Anyway, gold look a bit two-dimensional. Try and save it. Is that going in? No. Come on, England. We'll try and pass it around a little bit. I tried to knock that up the field, and that was a bit weird. Doesn't look like a World Cup stadium. Looks like a Division 3 stadium, which houses... Oh, man, is that a goal? Which houses about, don't know, about 100 supporters. The minutes are ticking down on the top right-hand side. It's not in real time, of course. There's 76 minutes from a 90-minute game. England 0, Iraq 1. Right, see if I can dribble it into their net on the other side. Yeah, this game's appalling. I mean, it's always hard to recreate football games on an 8-bit computer. Spectrum never seemed to get the hang of it, although a lot of people like Match Day 2. This is awful. I have reviewed quite a few bad football games on the Spectrum, but this is competing for the prize of worst one ever. I don't feel like I'm in control of this at all. I'm pressing fire button to try and tackle, but that's not really working either. Speed of the players isn't great. You'd expect England, if you're going to code a game, you expect England's players to be running a little bit quicker than the players from Iraq, but it looks like we're exactly the same. Formation's weird. There's no markings on the pitch either. No goal mouth, no centre spot, nothing. It seems a bit narrow as well, so the pitch making the pitch seem artificially long. Right, can I weave this in? Right, left, right, maybe do a 45 degrees shot and then we're in. Shoot. And that hit the crossbar, did it? This is a bit bizarre. Right, okay, so on the 55 minutes to go. As soon as it gets to 45, it is half time. Come on, score. Shoot. Yeah, I won't be playing this one again. So really, I haven't reviewed World Cup Football by Arctic Computing, but apparently this is very, very similar. If you owned that one or this one, then let me know below. How often did you play this? I'm guessing after a few goes, not at all. Quite often these reviews are really to see. I haven't played them before, but really to see if you got it as a present as a kid or bought it as a kid, would you have played it again? And the answer to that one for me personally is definitely not. Man. I mean, I don't know how many players are on each side. Have we got 11 players? It's a bit hard to tell. Maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe it's 7 or 8 players? Can't tell. Maybe 9. Animated poorly. Moving really slowly. And it's just a reboot of an existing game. Now, these people that US Gold commissioned to write the original game that they didn't think was good enough, which means it's worse than this, what the hell did that look like? So presumably that means somewhere there's an unfinished version or a finished version waiting to be discovered or released perhaps. Maybe? Could that be the case? What happened to that? Maybe it got put into room 101 and the room burned. I can't wait for this to be over, but we'll give it a fair crack of the whip. Now, admittedly, there is a training mode on this as well to try and perfect your skills and practice also, so maybe you need to do that first. But I think even if I was scoring 5-6 goals a match, I still don't think I'd like it that much. It's not really recreating football that well. There's no crowd sounds, which is a bit, I know, maybe that's pushing it a bit for the Spectrum anyway. But the only sounds on this is the sounds of the referee's whistle. Look, and they tackled me, but I find it really hard to tackle them. I think each time it's either the white team versus the black team, it never changes, so a bit like chess pieces in that respect. But even in chess games I reviewed, there's an option to change the colours. This one doesn't have it. Match day, even match day and match day 2, you could change the colours of the pitch and the teams to give it a bit of variety. This has got no variety at all, and it's just got the Mexican World Cup tagged on it. So, you know, they're trying to cash in the World Cup. May have sold a few copies because of that. But if you're looking for a football game, avoid this one. There's very rarely any good ones on the Spectrum, but definitely avoid this one because other ones might seem genius compared to this mess. Yes. I have reviewed a Gary Lineker's soccer game and it's 2-0. Goal, it flashes up there, but we're losing the will to live. England 0, Iraq 2. When was the last time we saw that happen? Well, never. If you played this a lot back in the day and you got more out of it than me, then let me know. Because as I say, these are the first or second goes on playing it. If you played it a lot, God help you. But if you played it a lot, you might have experienced stuff that I haven't experienced in this short review. Notice the ball changes colour depending on who's got it. That's like colour clash completely as well. Always best to try and dribble it up rather than pass to anyone, because passing is an extremely random affair. 6 minutes to go. In computer time, that is. Man, this is a stinker. Super stink. Right, boots, there we go. Now, was this game any better on the Amstrad CPC or the Commodore 64? Let me know. Now, I'm presuming they're both equally bad on each one, but if either are brilliant, let me know about that as well, because that's interesting then. Right, 2-0. I want to exit this completely, but we will just do a practice mode. Look at that. Algeria 7, South Korea 0. Canada beats Scotland 6-5. So it's going to simulate the rest of the World Cup. Who wins the World Cup? Canada. So it's quite realistic then. You know when Canada won the World Cup. Yeah. Right, so we'll do a training mode. I think we play another team, or is it just an empty pitch? So we'll just do one half, see if I can get the hang of it, or try and get anything else out of this game. And then we'll certainly vamos, do something more interesting, like have a cup of tea, do a jigsaw puzzle, or anything at all. Right, can I just weave it in? Crowd are equally excited, despite it's not the World Cup this time, it's just a training match. I got the funny feeling they'll be excited no matter what. Shoot, no. There's probably a special way of scoring a goal every time in this one. 45 degrees is normally a good thing to do. But it's not happening here. So standard 48k this. I think you would have guessed that anyway. 1986. Yes. There's always a lot of World Cup games whenever the World Cup is about. Some are a lot better than others. US Gold always, they do have a few good games, US Gold, but always approach their games with caution because they do have an over-average amount of stinkers, in particular on the Commodore Amiga when it comes to ports and conversions of real-life games. They seem to have a history of being a bit lazy with a lot of stuff, commissioning other people to write the game, and whatever the game looks like, they've got deadlines to meet, and they'll just put out the best they can, and quite often the best they've got isn't that brilliant. Might be a bit harsh, but that's what I think, and I have to be honest in these reviews. But, you know, have your own mind, obviously take in a little bit what you see, but, you know, have your own views at the end of the day. Right, which I'm sure you do anyway. Come on, weave it. Maybe I can just run it in. Shoot, no. Yeah, see, goalkeeper intercepts again. Player 1-0, computer 0. 62 minutes. We need to get to 45 and then we're going. So you haven't got too much left to endure. But as I say, I always depend on the comment section, especially when I do the 2-week roundup. Decide what were my 6 favourite games. I don't think, no matter how many comments are in there being positive about the game, I don't think this is going to get in the top 6. But who knows? I might have an off day. Yes. Right, here we go. And the computer runs through. It's the white team versus the black team again. They're going to cross it. The goalkeeper's out for some reason, leaving the goal wide open. AI is not very good either. 5 minutes till the end of the half. We saw 2 goals, both from the mighty Iraq. But, yeah. So, what can we say about this one? Moves slow, as a lot of them do. Animation is poor. Doesn't really feel like football. The best bit of the game is the animated crowd there, jumping up and down. But yes, that's about it really. And I think we will leave it there as it comes to half time. So I hope you like having a look at that. You might have done. That was World Cup Carnival on the ZX Spectrum, published by US Gold in 1986 and based on the Mexican World Cup of the same year. Got any comments about this game, similar games or anything retro, then please put them below. You're more than welcome. I don't particularly like this game. There's not much to like at all. A big thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far, keeping the channel running and getting the numbers steadily growing. It is appreciated. Want to help a bit more? There's patreon.com/njenkin. Every bit really does help. Until next time. Take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.